We've had two instances in which the FBI Director James Comey and now Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, have said that ISIS is the greater threat than al-Qaeda. What's your view of that?
I think it is, for a couple of reasons. One, over the last 3 years, there's been a little bit of foreign policy neglect when it comes to ISIS. We watch them professionalize their propaganda machine through social media. We watch them grow militarily. We watch them finance themselves and recruit. We've fumbled around, all of us, Congress included, by the way, without a coherent policy to have anything that disrupts their flow, their ability to promote the idea that they're winning. So why it's important here at home is now that they've been able to touch, think of this, every single FBI field office, all 56 FBI offices, have open investigations against ISIS, either sympathizers, either somebody who has expressed an interest or is participating in financing and or recruiting. That's a serious problem. We don't have that scope with al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda is still a threat, but ISIS is communicating with the youth of the United States in the United States, and we've seen certainly history of that in the recent months for the arrests and the attempted activities here in the United States.
John, if I could add on that, I think Mike's exactly right, and he and I have been working on these issues for a long time together. The terrorist threat has evolved and it's metastasized, and this is an important evolution and a worrying evolution of the terrorist threat against the United States. ISIS is a unique and dangerous organization in terms of scale. 24 or 25,000 foreign fighters there. That's a problem we're going to be dealing with for a generation, and as Mike is alluding to, very sophisticated on social media, which brings that threat right to the United States. I do want to make one other point, though. It is really important, I think Mike would agree, that we don't underestimate and take our eye off al-Qaeda.
Because of the size of the possible attacks. May not be as frequent, but bigger.
I think two things. One is the al-Qaeda style attack, but most importantly, because of their intention. The purpose and the stated purpose and the focus of al-Qaeda is still attacks on the United States and the West.
And they have active cells participating in that activity to plan, coordinate those attacks. That's why al-Qaeda remains dangerous to the United States.
Tom, what's your sense of, ISIS grew up in Iraq in part. Yes. What's your sense of the way things are going now inside Iraq?
A couple of things. Yeah, exactly right. ISIS is a successor of the al-Qaeda in Iraq organization. Has grown up quite fast. It's unique, again, as we talked about, in terms of the foreign fighter participation, in terms of the social media. It's unique in terms of its scale and approach, where it has occupied territory in Iraq and trying to build a caliphate there, a proto-state. It is absolutely critical in terms of the threat to the United States that we're talking about here, in terms of the threat in the region, that we shrink ISIS, that we attack it, shrink it, and ultimately defeat it. Why? Because the great strength of that organization is its narrative of success, and until we stop the narrative of success, it will continue to have success. Now we have not shrunk it as fast as possible, and as fast as it needs to happen. Excuse me, and that's largely because we haven't been able to develop a ground force capable of taking back territory.